That's really predictable. Am I just being a hater because I had a bad day? Is the whole thing just gonna be a Resident Evil Requiem show? Carby, don't hit the Carby. Oh, wait a second. Let's go Otome Girly Games. Friends and gamers, I am like a week late. Literally, if I go to look at the date on this, 7 days. This is 7 days old. I'm a week late to Gamescom. It's fine. However, as you can see, we don't have any second monitor content today because, first of all, the second monitor content is going to be Gamescom Studio because I'm starting this. My alternative activities are activities you cannot see because one of them is painting my nails, and then the other one, once I finish painting my nails and while I'm waiting for stuff to dry, probably it has to be actually working on outside work that you guys cannot see. So obviously we're not doing two screens today, so a little bit boring. This is weird because this stream is labeled as Gamescom Studio Day 3. This was Day 3 of Gamescom. However, I did, because this one's a little bit shorter. So I went to go look, like, is Day 4 a little bit shorter? But Day 4 also has the cosplay contest, I'm pretty sure. So, like, we couldn't make that work. However, the next one, Day 4, is listed as Day 3 on the starting soon screen. So that one's going to get weird. That one's going to get really weird. But today, for Gamescom Studios catch-up time, we are only watching the Day 3 live stream. Everything else that happened on Day 3 of Gamescom is stuff that needs its own video. So, yeah. That being said, I think we should just get started. This is, however, also Gamescom Awards. So they do a little award thing every year. I'm pretty sure this isn't like anything new. And I know one singular award that was given out at this current time. I do not know any of the other ones, and it is the Mobile Game Award. But if for whatever reason you're watching this and want to be surprised, I'm not going to say what it is, but I do know what it is. So my reaction, I'm happy with what won, but my reaction is probably not going to be as big or as impressive as if I had been seeing it for the first time because it's been a week and I've seen people talk about it already. Because hi, I play a lot of games that are also on mobile. That's nothing new here. So also, I should probably note that the reason why I also have to do work during the reaction for this is because I have not had the greatest of days today. And so the work I was supposed to do during the day did not get done. So if I also seem low energy, it's because it was not a good day for my brain. There's multiple reasons for that, but we don't need to get into that in a Gamescom reaction video. Let's get into Gamescom. Gamescom Award live stream. Let's do it. But yeah, I am finishing painting my nails first because this is my little, for my brain activity, like to make my brain happy. The next studio reaction, we will be back to doing second monitor gaming, or I guess first monitor gaming, because I put this on the second monitor because it's easy. Anyways, good thing we're all adults here, yeah? Viewer discretion is advised. They do age gate these streams, by the way. Mine videos are not age gated, but they age gate the streams for Gamescom. Did not know that until I went to film these. So IGN is still doing the awards. All right, interesting. So we're really gonna just be talking about the awards here. I feel like I'm rusty when it comes to watching an award show though, because usually every year we watch the Game Awards, but I didn't watch that. This is the past year. Oh, they're in Expo Hall, aren't they? I didn't know Gamescom had an Expo Hall. I knew they had a Artist Alley, because everything has an Artist Alley. If you don't have an Artist Alley, you're not a real convention. This part doesn't interest me enough. I wasn't there and it's well over, so. All right, Final Fantasy Magic deck. That's really predictable, but I know that those have gone crazy. Where are they? Both IGN people are so on about Stitch, and it's like, read the room. The new Stitch movie sucked. Both of them separately were like, oh, Stitch, that's great. Why? I do see the Eevee Squishmallow, and I am missing that one. I have all the Pokemon Squishmallows. I think I'm missing some new ones, but I also, of the OGs, I'm missing Eevee, and I saw it in the background. Again with the Stitch! Again with the Stitch! See, they say they're sad because they can't take the merch home. Have you ever tried to take merch home? You know, this would cost so much money, because you'd have to send it home. You could not bring this in your luggage. Is the whole Pickle Rick thing, is that still like a legitimate meme, or is this just like a case of old meme and they don't know? You know, because like they're both made like the, oh my god, Pickle Rick. Isn't that an old meme? Am I just being a hater because I had a bad day? Maybe. Possibly. It's definitely possible. My nail polish that I'm using right now is also really like clumpy, and it's kind of also ruining my night. It's not even night, it's 4:20. That was done entirely not on purpose. All right, I'm done with the clumpy polish. Listen, can I level with y'all so realistically here? They've done this little like Green Games shout out every day so far. But I was traumatized by Summer Game Fest this year, and so I just don't want to say anything. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Most epic game of Gamescom award. Why? Okay, you know, they're now that they're explaining why they chose the word epic. It's kind of like epic in terms of like novel terms, and epic being like something very long and like bombast. So that makes more sense. I was like, did they just pick epic to be like quirky? No, that's not it. Crimson Desert, oh, hold on, we're gonna have to pause. Crimson Desert, Dune Awakening, because also their mics are not loud enough, you can't hear them. Crimson Desert, Dune Awakening, Resident Evil Requiem, which will probably win just because that's all anyone's talked about. And literally, I think it was the Future Games Best of live stream. They talked about Resident Evil Requiem 3 different times, like full dedicated segments, 3 different times in 20 minutes. And IGN is not free from this either. They also talked about Resident Evil Requiem a lot. So, Super Meat Boy 3D, haven't heard brought up once, actually. This is my first time hearing about it. And also Warhammer Space Marine. Yeah, it's probably gonna go to Resident Evil. If I had to give one out though, I will say I have played Black Desert from the same devs as Crimson Desert. We talked about that already. I have played Dune Awakening. I haven't played Resident Evil Requiem, obviously, because the demo is only available on the show floor. Definitely have experienced Super Meat Boy before, but not 3D. And then Warhammer, I haven't played, but it's probably going to go to Requiem. I don't know, though, because if we're looking at it in terms of like an epic, well, let's just see. Leaves a lasting impact. It's probably going to go to Requiem. Just even if Requiem doesn't deserve the award based on the requirements for the reward, it's probably going to go to Requiem just because everyone's like, oh my God, Resident Evil Requiem. I don't know, because the thing is, I believe Space Marine 2 is out, but Requiem and Crimson Desert aren't out yet. And so how do you know how like epic it is? That's why I'm like, I feel like they're just gonna give it to Requiem. Yeah, they're just giving it to Requiem. I could have told you that from like a mile away. And I'm pretty sure it probably deserves it, but still, I'm sure it'll be a great game, but it's not out yet. So how do we know how like epically spanning it is, you know? It's just like, I feel like it's IGN, come on. They knew what they were giving the awards to before they even played them. I think I'm like extra bitter today. Scope and awe-inspiring experiences for that one. Are they talking about the same award? Yeah, they're still talking about the most epic. I guess if it leaves a lasting impact, yeah, I mean, everyone's talking about it. So I get it. Especially if it's based on like lasting impact. Because like I said, 3 times in 20 minutes from Future Game Show. They really need to lower the sound from the crowd because the crowd is like so loud. And they got the echo too. Epic doesn't just have to be a sprawling open world. That's kind of the point of an epic though. Like in terms of like a novel in like books, an epic is something that's like 100,000 words or something. So it is kind of like big and sprawling. At least that's how I look at it. I get it though, I get it. Like, I even want to play Requiem, so I get it. Epically stressful, they say. Okay. So now we're getting into using epic as like epic memes, like, you know, like kind of in an annoying way. All right. Okay. Yeah, all right, guys. All right. We're getting very millennial coded today, I guess. Next award. Best visuals. This is normal. This is not millennial coded. This is normal. What are best visuals is easy to understand. It's the visuals. So what do we got? I like the robot cosplay in the middle of the crowd. It's kind of funny, actually. This one's pretty standard. We know visuals. What are our nominees? Borderlands 4, Bye Sweet Carol. I'm gunning for Bye Sweet Carol. I will say that because I saw this game for the first time during a Gamescom studio or during Future Game Show or something and was immediately like taken aback by it in the best way possible. It looks beautiful. I also think it's indie, and obviously if an indie game is nominated, we support the indies. But Crimson Desert also looked really good. I'm partial to it though because I have played Black Desert and liked it. Mio Memories in Orbit I have demoed. It is very visually striking, so I'll give you that. But also Requiem is nominated again. I kind of hope they don't do like a Requiem sweep. As much as everyone's excited for Requiem, I would like other games to kind of get these awards. I'm immediately going to say I think it's going to go to Borderlands 4 just because there's probably some amount of bias here. I'm just going to say that. But mine would go to either Mio or Bye Sweet Carol. Not just because those are the 2 indie games on the list, but because both of them are very visually striking and very beautiful. So Mio specifically, I've played a little bit of, I think. Have I? Am I thinking of the right game? I think I'm thinking of the right game. I think. Bye Sweet Caroli? Isn't it Carol? They said Caroli! I just hope, like, I'm hoping it doesn't go to Requiem again. Give it to Carol. It went to Requiem again. Is the whole thing just gonna be a Resident Evil Requiem show? Is that all Gamescom is at this point? I think that's all Gamescom is at this point. It is a Resident Evil fan fest. I give it to Bye Sweet Carol though. Mine goes to By Sweet Carol. I kind of figured that might happen though. Very similar to the Game Awards and the fact that all the same games kind of get all the same awards. Which I know it does look very visually. Resident Evil Requiem does look great. It has great lighting and everything. Like they even brought up lighting. But like, come on. It kind of reminds me of the argument that like, oh, it looks so realistic. It has the greatest visuals of our generation. You can see every single pore. Look at the blood. It's so realistic. And like, all right, I get it. But also like, have y'all seen the art for By Sweet Carol? Looks like Disney, but better. All right. It looks like a OG 2D animated Disney animation movie, but better. And it's also, I'm pretty sure it's also a horror game. So like, just imagine that. I'm gunning for By Sweet Carol. I have not played it at all, but I'm gunning for it. All right. Just because something is super realistic looking, yes, that's great visuals, but that doesn't mean it's like immediately default the best visuals ever. Like there's more better visuals. And by more better, I mean like more games with good visuals that aren't just like hyper realistic. You know, it's like that's a whole argument that's been going on in gaming for like ages now. The hyper realism argument. But Requiem does look good. I just kind of wish it went to someone else. Especially because Requiem already got an award. They're talking about the individual strands of hair rendering. Like, come on. I got too much nail polish on my nail. Hold on. They're doing a commercial break, I think. Yeah, this is presented by Borderlands once again. That's another one that keeps coming up. But Borderlands keeps coming up because of paid advertisements a lot. So Requiem does keep coming up as far as I know organically though. So like, I'll give you that. Every Borderlands spot I've seen has, I think, been paid. But Requiem, every time Requiem's been brought up, it has been organic as far as I know. Because Europe is much more strict with like disclosing ads and things like that. So like, we kind of know a little bit better because they have to put it on screen like at all times during the ad, I'm pretty sure. They're more strict than the US. Metal Eden is another one that is paid. And there's nothing wrong with paying for that airtime. It just gets to a point. Like Borderlands is paid for so much airtime. So I'm surprised I didn't win that award. They say these awards aren't awarded by IGN, and I have been going kind of hard on IGN specifically for some of these choices, but there's a panel of people. How do we not know that there's IGN employees on the panel? Just a question. Best audio. Again, pretty self-explanatory and straightforward. We'll see if I've played any of these. They're kind of delayed though. This is getting awkward. It's getting really awkward. At least change to a different camera angle, my guy. I am one to talk. I've worked on like multi-camera, like live shoots like this, and they're stressful as all hell. But like, that's when you gotta be like, switch to something else. Come on, this is getting awkward. We're just looking at the same guy for too long. Okay, I think they actually switched just so it didn't get awkward. I've worked on these type of shoots before. This is bigger than the shoots I've worked on, but so I could only imagine. There's something glitching though, because they keep stalling. That's what you gotta do. You gotta be able to stall. Music is also part of this as well. Karen, I think I would have to get Resident Evil's probably going to win again. I'm just going to say it. But I have heard good things about the audio for Resident Evil Requiem and like the ambient noises. So I wouldn't be surprised if it wins, and it probably does deserve that win. But I would give it to Karen because I've demoed Karen. It's the only one on here I've played, and the ambient noise. The music's great, but there's like little ambient noises. Like I think that you have to have a ton of mountain climbers actually on the team for Karen. Karen is the mountain climbing sim that's coming out. I demoed it. The ambient noises in that game go a little crazy. Like you have to, it's so what I imagine as being true to life. Y'all had to have like actual mountain climbing aficionados on the team while making this game. Because I don't know how else you would have gotten at that on the nose. But it's probably going to go to Requiem again. I have heard good things about the audio though, so I wouldn't be surprised. Because that's the thing. I don't doubt that Requiem deserves all these awards. That's the thing. I just kind of wish we'd spice it up a little bit. Yeah, Requiem got it again. I'm giving it to Karen because I can. Did they just not make enough awards? I wouldn't doubt Resident Evil Requiem doing a clean sweep at the Game Awards in 2026. But we still have a full 2 years almost until we get there. So, because it wouldn't be this upcoming one. It would be the 2026. So it'd be December 2026. So we have like a full pretty much like a year and a half until we would get a Game Awards that would give an award to Resident Evil Requiem. It's probably gonna clean sweep it unless it ends up sucking story wise, but I probably won't. It's Resident Evil. Let's be so for real. But 2025, I think they do a most anticipated at the Game Awards. I'm assuming it's going to be Resident Evil Requiem if this is what the Gamescom award thing is starting to look like. And I'll say it again, I don't doubt it deserves all these awards. I just love some spice. Let's be so for real. They say because the award is a cube. I need to pause for this because I don't know much about physics, but I do know this, that you can stack them. But the sheer weight of this thing, unless it's like hollow inside and like plastic, in the rounded edges on that cube, that thing, if you stack too many of those, they are going to fall. I'm pretty sure they'll fall. And it's because of the rounded corners. I don't know much about physics, but I do know that. I have heard so many people talk about the audio for the Resident Evil Requiem demo though, so like I'm not surprised. Because even what I would have given the award to Karen for was similar, like the ambient sounds that you hear in that game are also really good. But if I was on the award committee, I'd give the award to Karen. I'm not on the award committee, obviously, but I still want that duck. There's a rubber duck on the Gamescom studio sign. I still want it. You know, I wanted to make a comment. One of the IGN hosts said there's not a genre that where sound and audio design is more important than horror. And one of the other hosts said rhythm game, and I was thinking the exact same thing. I was thinking the exact same thing as a rhythm game aficionado. Wait, what is this one next award? I was talking about rhythm games. Best gameplay. Okay, also very self-explanatory, but very wide-ranging. They mostly just need to play well at the end of the day. All right. I still think Requiem might win this again. We'll see if it's nominated. I'm hoping for an interesting one. Also, the Eevee Squishmallow I was talking about earlier, they have one back there, I think. Can I have it? I know I'm ragging on you guys, but can I have it? I shouldn't record reaction videos when I'm like having a day, is what we've learned. But I'm behind on these, so this is what you guys get. All right, so what's nominated? Best gameplay. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Hold on, we'll just, Resident Evil Requiem's gonna get it probably, just because it's gotten everything. Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I have played some of Donkey Kong Bonanza. I played it at the Nintendo Switch 2 event back in April, and it was really good. It did lag a little bit when I was playing it, but I believe I was probably playing an earlier build of the game, just based on when I played it and when the game actually released. So I had a little bit of lag playing it, but it was very fun at the same time. Hella have not really heard a ton about Mario Kart World. I also played at that same Nintendo event, and it was fine, but I've also heard some mixed opinions on it since release. PVKK haven't played, obviously, because there's no public demo available. It was just a show floor demo, but they had a very cool show floor demo that was shown off at, I believe, Best of Future Game Show, where they had this, like, they had the gameplay, like, screen kind of normal, but instead of the on-screen HUD, they had these in-person, like the HUD was basically physically there in real life, and you got to press these giant buttons, and it was really, really cool. I wish, there's a very few things I wish I was actually at Gamescom for. The Zenless Zone Zero car collaboration, we really wish I could have seen that in person, and that was a Gamescom exclusive thing. So that was one of them, and then the PVKK in-person demo was one of them. That was sick. So I kind of hope it goes to PVKK. It will probably go to Resident Evil Requiem, that being the last thing on there, because again, nobody will stop talking about Resident Evil Requiem. So it's probably gonna go to Requiem. I hit my mic. But PVKK would get my vote, just because that, if it's best gameplay at Gamescom, then like that, come on. They had an in-person HUD. You got to press the big buttons and pull the levers. Like, it was really cool. Donkey Kong Bonanza got it. Interesting. I mean, Donkey Kong Bonanza was very, very fun. So it doesn't surprise me, but it also kind of does, because I wasn't expecting that, especially because Requiem is like clean swept everything so far. But it does also make sense hypothetically here, right? If Resident Evil Requiem was just a demo of a game that is not finished, Bonanza is a finished game that is released. I don't think they probably, because they do have a shortened 20-minute version of that, and I'm assuming the same demo I played is probably the one they had on the show floor, because it cuts you off at like 20 minutes, and it's like, okay, you gotta move, we got other people, come on. Like, a lot of people were at Gamescom. So I'm assuming they played the same demo I did, which was very fun, I will say that. And as far as I know with the Requiem demo, I think it was a little bit more slower paced, because it's a horror game and they're trying to scare you, you know? But the show, I'm assuming it's the same show floor demo. It probably just tweaked a little bit, because obviously they can make those tweaks. It's been months. I played it at the end of April. It is now the end of August. It's been 4 months since I played it. So they probably have tweaked it a little bit for Gamescom, and it was very fun. I will say that. I'll give you that. So I give it to them. Donkey Kong Bonanza is very fun. I haven't gotten to playing it since it's released, but I did play it back in April. So I understand it being fun. Also, it is out. So if you're going to be rating it on gameplay, like, that makes more sense. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, is this the same one? I don't know if this is B-roll or just like general B-roll or B-roll of the show floor demo. Yeah, no, this has to be general B-roll. Oh, this is kind of cute, actually. The Nintendo employee is talking about how her son plays it at home. I just messed up my nail entirely. That's awesome. Her son plays it at home as well, and like, that's really cool, actually. I messed up my entire nail. Goddamn. Because I touched my glasses and they're not dry yet. That's awesome. We can't watch anything. We can't do a Gamescom reaction without me messing up my nails, apparently. I'm trying to see if I can fix this by just like layering polish. Carby, don't hit the Carby. Respect the carb. I think I'm just gonna have to redo my thumbnail. That's really annoying. That's really annoying. Ad time, let's move. I'm trying really hard to save my nail. I really don't want to have to redo the whole thing. I might have to. I might be able to save it. We'll see. What's our next award, though? Most entertaining. All right. Why do I have a feeling that they're gonna nominate? Will they nominate Requiem again? Because there's a lot of different reasons for this one. Okay, what do we? Okay, Requiem didn't get nominated for this. Dispatch, which Dispatch, I do know what it is. I was going to demo this. This is that game where it's like you basically play as a dispatcher in a superhero company, like a company of superheroes. It is very, I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of raunchy. And so I was going to demo this with Summer Game Fest demos because I originally saw this shown off at Summer Game Fest, not Summer Game Fest, at the Game Awards at that in-person event that I went to. But I was going to demo it during Summer Game Fest, and within the very first couple of minutes, first of all, it's like an kind of just unskippable cutscene, the game, which I love. Visual novel, but for whatever reason, and within the first 5 minutes, you're in a bathroom, and they're very explicit about it. And it's like, I'm like, I can't even show this without getting demonetized. So like, that'll be a demo dive in the future if I could show any of it. So not my favorite. I didn't think it was that entertaining. Donkey Kong Bonanza was very fun. I felt like I was demoing it when I did demo it for maybe like 5 minutes, but it was like the full 20. Like they cut you off and they're like, you gotta move, gotta keep going. Grounded 2, I've heard good things about, but I've never played any of the Grounded franchise. Hella is coming up again, and I have no idea what that is now that I'm thinking back on it. And then Mario Kart World. I'm not a big Mario Kart fan, so. My vote would go to Bonanza, though, actually. A repeat. I'm trying so hard to, like, make my nails work here. Hella got it. Okay, can you show me some gameplay? I think I'm gonna have to redo this nail. It looks really bad. Guys, it looks really bad. I'm excited to actually see the interview for this one, though, because I want to see some gameplay, because I know platformer. Oh, wait a second. I gotta bring up Steam for this one. Hold on. 3D platformer where you play as a mouse. Hold on. Please don't be the game I'm thinking. It's on my wish list, so I think we're safe. Okay, good. We're safe. There is another game that has a very similar aesthetic to Hella. Here, I'm actually going to pull open the Steam. Actually, no, they're going to show it. They're going to show some B-roll. Yeah, you can see kind of there's another game with a very similar aesthetic to this that was actually at Summer Game Fest that uses AI. So I was very concerned because when they said 3D platformer where you play as a mouse, I was like, oh no, is this the game I'm thinking of? No, different game. Which, thank God, because there's another game that looks like this, but was made with generative AI. So this is not that game, thank God. We'll actually probably be playing Hella, because it's on my Steam wishlist already, so we'll probably be playing this game. Sounds like you can play this in co-op as well, which is also probably part of why it's, like, entertaining. Also, yes, my nail polish bottle did just hit my, thing. So they have a show floor demo. Would you like to make that show floor demo public, please? Because I would love to demo this game. Is Hella indie? Hold on, I still have the Steam page up. I think it might be. Because also, it had the Mix logo, Mix being a big thing with indie games. I think it's indie. Wind Up is the developer. This is their only game on Steam, published by Knight's Peak. Okay, I think it's indie. Yeah, that's awesome. That's so awesome. Hella is an indie game, technically. I think so. Awesome. We got an indie win! There's frogs! There's a frog! Wonderful. The frog backpack! Wait, that's so cute! Okay, I do see the multiplayer. You can play as multiple mice. Yeah, see the Mix logo is down here. My hair is kind of covering it, but it's there. Don't worry, it's there. I'm assuming they probably had the multiplayer demo on the show floor, though, just to get more people through. How cute. How cute. Looks great. Looks great. Happy to hear that it also plays great. You're playing alone, but you're never really alone. I love that. That's cute, because I do like to play my story games. I like to play most of my games alone, but... Oh my god, I messed up my nail again. The same one. Because the bottle slipped out of my hand while I was closing it. I'm just gonna have to redo that one. That's really annoying. I have to wait for them to dry first, though. Ah! I am realizing I have to switch this to my second monitor so I can work. So I have to do that now. Hold on. Okay, just ignore. This is gonna take a minute because I also need to bring out my Notion. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. We got it though. We got it. All right, back to Gamescom. Here we go. I can actually get work done now. 40 minutes later. Did you mocap real mice? I don't think they did that. Can I now multitask while working? Let's find out. I think I can make this work. I'm gonna have to type. Most wholesome. This is my award. Not my award to win, but my award to make comment on. Because I've probably heard of all these. Action-packed? Oh, no, they're talking about other game genres. I was like, wholesome being action-packed? Give me wholesome games. I know what game won this because it was on the Steam page I just looked at. Yeah, Hella was on there, and I was like, oh, that must be an award they didn't talk about, most wholesome, because it was on the Steam page for Hella. Nope, it's an award they talk about. So, Hella does win this one. I do unfortunately know that already. But I've played every other game on this list, so let's talk about it. Is the Seat Taken was actually released or published, I think, by Wholesome Games. These are all indie games as well. So we're talking about Wholesome Games. Is the Seat Taken? Is wholesome. It's very fun. It'll be in an upcoming demo dive from Summer Game Fest. I really like it, actually. I don't know if I'm gonna play the full version. I don't remember what I said in the video because I haven't edited any of those demo dives yet. But Is the Seat Taken is very fun. Basically, you're navigating these little guys to their seats on like a bus or a taxi or something like that. So very straightforward. It's heartfelt and goofy and fun, and I really liked it. Starbirds, I know I've played, but I really don't remember anything about. I do think there's footage in an upcoming demo dive for Starbirds, so that'll be a refresher for all of us because I don't really remember much of it, but if that says anything, I don't really remember much of it. I know it's birds in space. I've played a couple of different birds in space games with a very similar aesthetic though, and so they're all kind of blending together in my head, and I can't remember which one is Starbirds. I think I remember liking it though. Tiny Bookshop is actually probably of every game on this list. I haven't played Hella, so I can't say, but of every game I've played on this list, which is 4 out of the 5, because those are the ones that have had public demos at some point in time, Tiny Bookshop is actually my least favorite. I think it's just because you basically play as a bookseller on a little, like, imagine a food truck, but for books. That's Tiny Bookshop. And I have experience as a bookseller. I previously worked as a bookseller. I was fired from being a bookseller, and I really like books. So you can imagine my disappointment. Basically, any game where you play as a bookseller now traumatizes me. And I will say another bone to pick I have with Tiny Bookshop is something that was not added, I think, until it officially released. I believe Tiny Bookshop is using actual real life book names within the game for the books in the game, and I actually don't think that's allowed. Because there's a lot of those, and I don't think every single publisher and author gave permission for that. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think putting in the official book names of the ACOTAR series is allowed. And I know that Miss Moss recently cut off a lot of agreements she had with fan merch and things like that. So I would be curious how allowed, and if they asked about that, because I don't think it's allowed. This is coming from somebody who has worked as a bookseller, has seen that side of like publishing and stuff. I don't think it's allowed. But that's just me speculating, right? Anyways, Winter Burrow I demoed during Summer Game Fest. It's going in an upcoming demo dive. Actually, I don't remember if this was an on-screen or off-screen, because the problem with Summer Game Fest is half the demos I did on-screen, half of them I did off because I lost my voice. I don't remember where Winter Burrow fell on that list, but I am looking into playing this when it releases. I love Winter Burrow. You play as, again, a little mouse. A second mouse game has hit Gamescom Wholesome Awards. It's very cute. You play as a little mouse, but it's more top down, and it's winter, obviously. It's very cute. I like all these, but if I had to give out the award, I actually think, I think I'd give it to Winter Burrow, actually. Either Winter Burrow or Is the Seat Taken were probably, because Starbirds I don't remember enough, but I do know it goes to Hella. So I would give it to Is the Seat Taken or Winter Burrow. So those are mine. Those are my things, if I could give out awards. So Hella got it again. I'm curious if they're stacking these to make it go by faster, or if that... I love that the guy came back, because most of the other winners did not come back. They just had, like, did a little thing, like, oh, they already received an award, but this guy came back. That's dedication. Love this guy. To be totally fair, though, if I was an indie dev and had the opportunity to go back twice, I'd do it. I'd be like, yeah, I want it again. What now? Respect. It makes me question, like, are they stacking them? Like, I kind of started saying this 5 seconds ago. Are they stacking them and giving multiple games, or giving the same games multiple awards to make this go by faster? Or are these really just the best games? I'm not sure. I would like to say they're just the best games of Gamescom. So Requiem, Bonanza, Hella. We have an indie game in there, so that's awesome. But also all the wholesome games were indie games. So, but that is the first of the 2 mice games. He came back for the interview too. I love this guy. No, that's so good. That's so good. Again, if I had that opportunity, I would totally do it. I'd be like, let's do it again. Run it back. Props to the guy for going in twice. I'd send like somebody else, like have the marketing intern do it or something. There's no combat, which again makes it wholesome. I think none of the games listed had combat technically, which kind of is the stipulation. Like if a game's gonna be wholesome, it can have combat. Like I would honestly consider like Genshin Impact wholesome to a certain degree, and that has combat, but wholesome is a feeling. Mice are an S tier rodent. Oh my god. Oh, did you consider other animal? Interesting. They're actually asking some good questions. That's awesome. Love to see it. We love indies. Oh my god. I'm like doing work stuff on top of this and I just opened something where it's like, oh my god, this is a mess. What happened here? Why is there so many canceled things? I can't describe it any more than that because it's like it's not related to this. It's like outside work. So I can't describe it any more than that, but I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, okay, they made a joke. Because this is on the Nintendo Switch channel, or Nintendo channel, the trailer for Hella, as a Nintendo Switch 2 game, and the top comment apparently on that is the Nintendo Switch 2 has mouse support or something along those lines, which is, I guess it does. That's so cute. Oh my god. Goofy. All right, we're getting commercial break, which is awesome because I need to get work done. This might be the first time I don't skip through the commercials because I really just need to like buckle down. All right, let's skip through these commercials. I lied. We're skipping them. Because actually, if we get through these faster, then I can watch the next one. I have the other multiple days to watch, so. Impact. Games for Impact. All right, we can probably talk about this one too. Games for Impact is pretty self-explanatory. It's games with like a good message or have actually impacted the world in some way, or etc., etc. They do a similar award at Game Awards as well. So a lot of these also tend to be indies, so we can probably talk about these as well. Socially relevant issues, they say. So yeah. What do we got? Okay. All right. Interesting. Cairn, I have demoed, like I said, don't really know how, but also I haven't played the story mode of Cairn. I'm assuming there's probably some environmentally sensitive and relevant issues related in that game just because you are mountain climbing, so that would make sense. Forever Skies. Let me pop up with Steam really quickly because I'm pretty sure I own this game. I do own this game. I have played it. I would like to play more of it. And again, it is like a post-apocalyptic survival game. So again, kind of touches on the environment. Forever Skies is very fun though. So Hollow Home, I have not heard of and don't really know anything about. I'm curious about it. Same deal with Monowave. Don't really know about it. Actually, I might know about Monowave. The name sounds familiar. Monowave, yes. This is a platformer, I believe. Yes. A whimsical puzzle adventure platformer about the human power of emotions. Okay, so that's where the Games for Impact would come in. A socially relevant issue would be like emotions and like expressing your emotions and things like that. So that makes sense. Tiny Bookshop, I believe there is relevance to a couple different things within Tiny Bookshop, just from what I even played of it. So I don't remember what those things are, but I know there's something there with Tiny Bookshop. What is Hollow Home though? I'm looking that up right now. Is this a horror game? Hold on, Hollow Home is free. Oh, the demo's free. An isometric narrative RPG told from the perspective of a teenager trapped inside an occupied city. Okay, so really quickly, I'm actually gonna do something really fast here and put it on my demo list for Gamescom. Just because I haven't done those Gamescom demo dives yet. I believe probably a lot of them are probably no longer available. But I want to put this on because this is my first time hearing about it. And so I want to include it. That's just really quickly. I just want to put it on there. But I see how that would be Games for Impact as well. Again, socially relevant issues. You're stuck inside an occupied city. Yes, that makes sense. That makes total sense. Tiny Bookshop won though, and I'm curious why because I don't remember why. I remember there being a couple different issues referenced within the game though. Released 2 weeks ago. I feel like it's been out longer. Maybe it's because I demoed it a while ago. Read some books, sell some books. I actually got to agree to that. Go read a book. I've almost already hit my reading goal for the year. I only get I only made it 50 books, but still, I feel like that's a big amount. It's not the 200 books the book girlies on TikTok are reading every year, but it's something, especially considering I have like 2 other jobs. I feel like I'm the odd one out in that I didn't love Tiny Bookshop, but I think it's just because I have bookshop trauma. They do mention the real books in the game, and I still don't know if that's allowed. I mean, maybe they got permission for it, but who would you ask for permission? Fern. I didn't like Fern. There are some fake books, they say. There's a book about tax evasion is one of the fake books. That's kind of fun, actually. Do you have any suggestions for actual bookshop owners or librarians who have been playing the game? I'm an ex-bookshop employee. I would like to hear what you have to say about this. Putting together a book council to add more books. Interesting. I definitely am the odd one out then. Because if even like other booksellers are like going crazy, but I'm definitely the odd one out. I'm definitely the problem here. People who are really into books want to keep playing. I am really into books. Hi. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I guess then, yeah, that's probably why it's Games for Impact, because it's encouraging people to read. I love that particular, like, go read a book. There's a book, like I always say there's an indie game out there for everyone. Everyone can find, there's so many indie games. There's an indie game you can find and love. Guarantee it. At least one. I do think there's a book out there for everybody as well. I think there's multiple books out there that are great to read. I do think also incorporating real life book titles is probably part of that impact as well, because people play the game and they're like, oh, this book sounds good, I'm gonna go read it, like in real life. And they talk about promoting change in the town in the game, and that's what I was talking about, where I was like, I know there's like quite a few impact adjacent things in there, but that's what I was trying to remember. I love the message and content of the game. I just could not. I am the problem when it comes to Tiny Bookshop. It's a me problem. Best mobile game. This is another one that I know the answer to already, and we can also talk about this one to a certain extent, because I think that there's some titles nominated for this one that are just kind of like not shovelware, but like feel like shovelware. I like how the crowd went very quiet for mobile games. That's awesome. That feels great, actually. Ooh, I can talk about 4 of these. Arknights Enfield. I have demoed twice now. I am a creator for Arknights Enfield. Full disclosure. I am a content creator for Arknights Enfield. I loved the tech tests. Didn't love CBT1. That's the best I can put it. CBT1, they changed to make it more adjacent to like an automation sim, more similar to the tower defense gameplay that you see in original Arknights. And I don't love the gameplay of original Arknights because I'm not a big tower defense fan. I really like Arknights. I've played the original Arknights, but the gameplay loop, like I love the story, but the gameplay loop doesn't really interest me as much as other games. I've played other games that are on this list, actually. But I am very excited for Arknights Enfield and to see more from it, because I am very intrigued by the story itself. And I'm actually going to split my recordings really quickly because I didn't realize I was an hour. Hold on. All right, back with recording number 2. Moving on to the next game, Dungeon Crawler. Again, full disclosure, I was sponsored to do a video for Dungeon Crawler. Thank you, Stray Fawn. That was multiple months ago when it released. Originally, I played it on Steam, so I don't know the full mobile experience, but Dungeon Crawler is a dungeon crawler / roguelite where there's no combat. It's a claw machine, hence Clawler instead of Crawler. Very fun. I actually really like Dungeon Crawler, but I have not played it on mobile. Same thing actually with Arknights Enfield. Haven't played it on mobile. So can't say that how they run on mobile, but Dungeon Crawler is also very, very fun. I will say that immediately. In terms of it being like a one and done mobile game, you can just pick this up, play a little bit, and put it back down. Like, it's fun. Genshin Impact is next. I am also a creator. I have ties to like most of these. I'm also a creator for Genshin Impact. I have been for multiple years at this point. Have been playing Genshin Impact since its first year, actually. Have not been playing since the start, but within the first year of it launching, I have been playing. I love Genshin Impact. I have multiple pieces of Genshin Impact merch. If I had to vote for a best mobile game for me, it would be between Arknights Enfield and Genshin Impact. I think based on principle, I probably would vote Genshin because it does hold a very special place in my heart. I've gotten a ton of opportunities because of Genshin, related to Genshin. I could go on and on about Genshin Impact for ages. I don't think I need to explain it here, but she means a lot to me. I say as I look at all the Genshin Impact merch in front of me. So she means a lot to me. I love Genshin Impact. And we do still have to talk about the upcoming Luna 1 version of Genshin Impact. Not 6.0, Luna 1. That video will be coming soon as well. We love Genshin Impact. even if there's times where I am pulling my hair out because of Genshin and really annoyed with certain things that with the dev team is doing or the game itself, player base, I have a love-hate relationship with Genshin Impact just because I've been in it for so long, and she means a lot to me. Talking about love-hate, let's segue into the one game I don't have personal ties to on this list that I have played, because Servant of the Lake, I can't say anything about it. I've never played it. Love in Deep Space, though. I've played my fair share of Love in Deep Space. I have two characters particularly that I very much like in that game and switch between liking the most very frequently. But I do enjoy Love in Deep Space. I do. This is the only game on the list of games I played that I don't have a personal tie to, but still love. So if that says anything, and that's gonna put a pin in that, because it's gonna come back in like 5 seconds when they announce the winner. Just put a pin in that one. So Servant of the Lake, I can't say. I've never played Servant of the Lake. I've never played it. So the best mobile game was also a fan vote. I will say right now, I did not vote for anything. So I did not vote for which one was my favorite, but if I had to vote, and if I did vote, which I didn't, but if I did, I probably would have voted Genshin, just because I have a history with Genshin. But the award did go to Love in Deep Space, and that was the one that I did know going into this. And I can't even be mad, because I'm part of the problem with Love in Deep Space. I haven't played Love in Deep Space because I don't have room on my phone anymore, and I don't want to re-download BlueStacks. I've tried to a couple times. Every time I have to re-download BlueStacks for something, I immediately also re-download Love in Deep Space on BlueStacks, play it for a couple minutes when I have free downtime, and then I can't get back to it. I love Love in Space, though. I really do. Like, I've tried before. I've been very specific about not exposing who my faves are in lads, but we might get close today. We might get very close, because I almost did. But yeah, play Love in Deep Space. I really like Love in Deep Space. I like how they call it a 3D action RPG. It's an otome game, let's be so real. Romance gameplay. I love lads, I really do. Like I said, that's the only one I don't have a personal tie to, but I really like. The lads booth had one of the longest lines. That's so sickening. I love that. That's awesome. I love that. Let's go otome girly games. They didn't do an interview section. Oh, they're showing gameplay. Okay, so even one of the IGN hosts is like, I'm a fan but not a major player. I would say the same for me, but I'm like shooters for certain characters within this game. If you say bad things about them, I will come for you. I don't want to hear bad things about lads, all right? I don't want to hear bad things about lads unless we're talking about the monetization scheme, because you can generally, there is many bad things to say about the monetization scheme in any gacha game, but specifically lads. I will say that right now. Not shooters for that, but certain characters in the game, I will vouch for to the ends of the earth. So you can write that down. Monetization, horrible. But everything else is great. If they show two, I'm really happy with the gameplay they're showing is only Raphael, because he's not my, oh God, I lied. Because I was like, I'm not gonna cave. I won't cave but we're getting closer. We're getting closer. I'm pretty sure you can probably guess who my faves are. Like, I've not made it that, you know, Zane is very pretty though, I will immediately say that. Like, I can't focus right now. He's so pretty. Getting distracted. I'm supposed to be working. I do appreciate that they're letting the devs speak in Chinese, because that everyone's been speaking in English so far. This is, I think, is an old trailer. It has to be, because they're only showing the 3. They're only showing Xavier, Raphael, and Zane. No Silas, no Caleb. So this has to be an old trailer, which is probably good for me. That's probably good for me, because if they showed a more updated trailer for the game, I would be very distracted for the rest of the video. Yeah, I have to re-download BlueStacks for the Chasing Collider Rider beta coming soon, and you can bet I'll be re-downloading that at the same time. Every time. And then I take BlueStacks off my computer because it takes up so much space, so that I can't play lads anymore, but oh my God, I love lads, I really do. They mentioned Silas and Caleb. Thank you. They mentioned it in the speech. They're getting me. I'm like, I gotta re-download BlueStacks sooner. I literally don't even remember what I was doing in my work, by the way. I got so distracted. I need to pause, because my brain and me, I've been getting so distracted during this week for like multiple reasons. Today specifically for like a very specific reason, but I'm not gonna get into it because I think I signed an NDA about it. Anyways, very specific here. There's certain things in lads, like there's a feature where you can basically like study or do work and just put the love interest of your choice on your phone screen and have them sit there, and it looks like you're co-working with them. And I immediately thought, I really want that feature right now. That I am part of the problem. I am part of the problem. That was what my brain immediately went to. God, what was I doing work-wise? I don't even remember. Love and Deuces is so good. No, I guess, okay, yeah. I'm worn out after the lads thing. I knew that was coming, and I'm still worn out. I said I wasn't gonna have a big reaction because I already knew, but it was lads. I underestimated the size of my reaction. Time to skip through some commercials. If I don't talk as much on the next couple of awards, it's because I yapped so much about lads. They didn't show my absolute fave though. They showed my second fave, but they didn't show my first fave of lads. So like, I feel like we live to see another day. I do not have to make a fool of myself on the internet today. Another day, mayhaps. It's highly possible. Am I gonna re-download BlueStacks immediately after this? Probably. But the next award is Best Xbox Game. I don't have an Xbox, so we'll see how much I can actually talk about this one. They do say chances are you'll be able to find the games wherever you play because they have it on so many platforms, but we'll see. We'll see how many I can talk about. Because he said he's an Xbox guy, I'm not. My category was wholesome games and mobile games. Interesting here, Borderlands 4, Crimson Desert, Grounded 2, Little Nightmares 3, and Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm gunning for Ninja Gaiden because it looks really good. Same thing with Crimson Desert because I'm biased towards that franchise already. Part of my brain thinks they're going to give it to Borderlands, though. I think every time Borderlands pops up on one of these nominee lists, I'm like, it's probably going to go to Borderlands because I know they paid for a bunch of paid spots. So, like, I don't think they would pay for an award, but, like, if it's put in front of the committee that many times, and just like the audience that many times, like people are gonna remember it. Like I remember it because I've seen it so many times having like very long paid advertisement spots. And not just in the IGN Gamescom studio live streams, but with Future Games show as well. I don't know if they paid for Future Games coverage, but there was coverage at Future Games. So it's just been put in front of me so many times that I like remember it anyways. We'll see. I'm not an Xbox player though, so I don't have, call it Ninja Gaiden. Grounded, okay, I know that a lot of people really like Grounded, the Grounded franchise. This is the second one. It's been released after a while, I think. So good for them, very good for them. In fact, Grounded is probably the one I've heard the most about from outside sources, like just like on my Twitter timeline organically. I didn't even know Grounded was at Gamescom, so good for them. It's of all the things on the list I've heard the most about Grounded too. Outside of Gamescom organically, like I said. So like, that's good to hear. Oh, it's early access right now. Okay. I do wonder, because they said it's July release. I do wonder if it's recency bias. I don't think it is though. There's big bugs. That's probably why I've not played Grounded before. I think Xbox is actually even like the native platform. I think Xbox was promoting it the most from what I saw outside of Gamescom. So that also makes a lot of sense that it would be the nominated and then be the winner for that category. I could be making that up though. They do say that Grounded 2 has the best community, which again, I've heard a lot about this game organically and it's all been good. A lot of people are really excited for it, so that also doesn't surprise me to make that comment. They are making a haha funny about how they added cockroaches to the game and people like are entirely avoiding the area the cockroaches are in so they don't have to see them, and that would be me. I would do that actually. I'd probably do that for a lot of things in this game. I'm not saying much because the thing I have open for work right now is like a traversity. It's so messy and I just have to focus on this for a hot second. Oh my god, I messed up another nail. What the heck? That's what I get for getting distracted. I have to redo 2 entire nails now. Both in the same hand, by the way. A mood board covered in spiders for this game in the development. That's terrifying, actually. Next boss is a tarantula that's gotten loose out of its terrarium. That is terrifying. I will say as a child, I thought I wanted to keep a spider as a pet, so I put this little spider in this little bug cage, and I freaked out and wouldn't go in my room for like 2 days after it got loose one time. So that ended that real quick. I didn't know you could play Grounded single player though. I thought it was multiplayer exclusive. I will say that, but they do say you can play it alone. I will not be doing that though. I will not be doing that. I'm not a bug person. We're not doing that. Oh my god, I keep clicking the wrong things. I accidentally opened my Spotify. Leave me alone. Next game is best PlayStation game. They didn't have a booth, but they did have multiple games like on the show floor separately. So I don't have a PlayStation, never have. So let's see if I've played any of these. Oh, there's Borderlands again. And Resident Evil. All right. I do think Resident Evil will probably win just because it's won everything else. Also nominated is Crimson Desert, again, Chronos, The New Dawn, which looks terrifying, and Pragmata. I've talked about Pragmata already, as well as the IGN team for Gamescom Studio has talked quite a bit about Pragmata. This was in Gamescom Studio Day 1. Basically, and the best way I can put it, I said this in the video, or I think in a different video actually after the fact, the entire coverage of Pragmata and the show floor demo for Pragmata from IGN for Gamescom Studio this year was basically every way they could say, hey, we hate this game without actually saying, hey, we hate this game. And I was very excited for Pragmata, so hearing that about a game I was like wildly excited for, it does sting a little bit, and I'm kind of cautiously optimistic now to see more from it. I do still have hope that Pragmata will be good. Because I've also said this before, sometimes a demo is just bad. Show floor demos, especially, because the thing with a show floor demo for a game, it's much shorter than a demo you would put on Steam. It's probably much less polished. And you also, like, the team itself might never have planned to make a demo, but then it's like, hey, you have to make this like 20-minute demo to show off the best parts of your game to a wildly diverse audience on a show floor at an event. So because I've done show floor demos, I've done Steam demos with the same amount of time. I've the 20-minute timer that you would get on a show floor sort of situation, like, because then like using the Nintendo event, it was the most recent event I was at, there was a 20-minute timer on those demos. They cut you off after 20 minutes. The game itself cuts you off after 20 minutes. But then I've also done demo dives where I cut myself off after 20 minutes. And a show floor demo is usually not as good as an online demo, which is why a lot of times if a company has a show floor demo for a game, they might not make it public and put it on Steam because it's not as good as a Steam demo usually could and should be. That's why, as much as I say like, hey, can you put that on Steam? Hey, can you make that public? I understand why they won't sometimes, because it's not up to the standard that you would usually see with a Steam demo. A Steam demo usually being like an hour or two long sometimes. Sometimes they are very short, but I've seen demos that have been like 5 hours of gameplay before. It's a whole like first chapter of or something, like, you know? So there is a difference there. So I'm thinking that the Pragmata show floor demo just wasn't up to snuff, essentially. It was not at the level that it needed to be. So I have fingers crossed, cautiously optimistic for Pragmata. I will say that. I don't think it's going to win for that reason. I think it's going to go to Requiem because Requiem has won everything else. So yeah, Resident Evil Requiem got it. Yeah, not surprised. They'll probably just skip over this then. They're just accepting the award on behalf of Capcom now. Like, they're just like, they're not coming back. Let them talk about Resident Evil again. Okay, they're doing Best Nintendo now, which this I probably have some more footing with, just because I have a Switch 2. I went to the event, probably tried a bunch of the games they're going to be talking about. We got this. I think it's going to go to Donkey Kong Bonanza, though, just because it already won an award today. Maybe 2? I don't remember if they've already won 1 or 2. Technically, I've played 4 of these. And one of them is on my demo dive list, I believe. Yes, so I will be playing the 5th one, and the 5th one does look really good. So let's go. Donkey Kong Bonanza. We've already talked about, loved the show floor demo at Nintendo event. Was great. Already talked about it. Mario Kart World, but I'm not a Mario Kart fan, but I have heard mixed opinions of it since launch, so there is that. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I played this at the Nintendo event as well. Again, another one of my favorite things that I demoed on the show floor at the Nintendo event. And I'm not a Metroid Prime truther. I've not really played a ton of Metroid games before. I've played Metroidvanias, obviously, because that's a pretty common genre within indie games. But Metroid Prime 4 is not a Metroidvania. It is a almost more like a looter shooter vibe, more Doom-esque, if you will. You're playing, I don't remember if it's first or third person, but you know, like you're walking around, you have like you control the things, you can be the ball. And this made me a Metroid Prime truther. Metroid Prime 4's demo, even though I had somebody like in my ear over my shoulder backseating me the entire time, was really good. So I actually am looking forward to Metroid Prime 4. I don't know if it's out yet or not. I don't think it's out yet, quite frankly, because I think I probably would have heard of it being out. But Metroid Prime, the demo for it is really good. So I'm not surprised. And these are specifically Switch 2 games. So the only game on this list I have not demoed before is Tawa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. It is on my demo dive list for Gamescom. I need to get to it if it's still available, fingers crossed. But this looks really, really good. I believe it's like a anime style roguelite. So obviously it ticks off some of my major boxes when it comes to games. Very excited to try that because I've been seeing this floating around since Summer Game Fest. So very excited to try that very, very soon. Obviously, I'll be trying it on Steam, though, and not Switch 2 because the demo's on Steam. Anyways, Winterboro, we've already talked about it a little bit. I've played it on PC. I demoed it on PC. I'm looking forward to playing more of it, and it's a cute little cozy game. I think it would play great on Switch. So, would love to get my hands on a Switch copy, but sometimes Switch copies, especially if you're going for like review copies, can be limited. So, probably play it on Steam, but it is what it is. Winterboro is also very cute. If I had to give this award out, though, I actually would give it to Metroid Prime 4 because that was one of my favorites that I played on the show floor at the Nintendo event months ago. So I would actually, if I was giving out awards here, it would go to Metroid. Surprisingly, I know, surprisingly, but that was one of the favorite things I played, and I really changed my mind about like the Metroid franchise in general. So I would give it to Metroid Prime 4. Because also, my experience playing Donkey Kong Bonanza on the, you know, was months ago, like I said earlier, my experience playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, it was great, but it glitched. Metroid Prime 4 had no glitches. The controls were a bit weird with the Switch 2 controls, especially because they kept pushing the like mouse controls for Metroid Prime 4, but the mouse controls just kind of sucked a little bit. But the motion controls otherwise with the Joy-Cons was much better. So I think I actually talk about that. There's a vlog from the Nintendo event on the channel I think I uploaded it in like June because it was after my surgery. Yeah, I talk about it more there, and my opinions are probably they're more fresh if you're curious, but yeah. The one thing about that though is I am in it physically because it's a vlog. I'm not VTuber in it, so if you don't like that, maybe skip that video. But yeah, I would give it to Metroid, just so we're all on the same page. My award would go to Metroid. I'm curious who will get it though. Probably Bonanza. Mario Kart got it. Interesting, because the Mario Kart World demo, because I also played this at that same Nintendo event. The Mario Kart demo was just a Mario Kart demo. There was nothing crazy about it, you know? So interesting. Very interesting, because I've heard very mixed opinions, like I said, and have said multiple times, I've heard very mixed opinions on Mario Kart World, and even I had mixed opinions after playing it. I just thought that was because I suck at Mario Kart, but apparently not. Interesting, very interesting. They're talking about how great it would feel to come in first in a Mario Kart demo race. Can't say that because I think I came in last. But anyways, it wasn't dead last. I almost made it to the second round, and then somebody like hit me with a coconut. Not a coconut. They don't have coconuts in this. I felt like it was coconut. They hit me with a shell at like the last second, and it was over. PC Game Award is next. We can probably talk about this one as well, because obviously I have a PC. It might not be the best, but she gets the job done. All right, what do we got? Borderlands is there again. World of Warcraft. Hold on, I'm choking on air. Okay. NO117 117 Pax Romana. I haven't played, obviously, but I keep seeing Borderlands 4, same deal. PVKK had the really cool show floor demo, so kind of gunning for it. Tawa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree, we will be demoing shortly on Steam at some point. World of Warcraft, I played Warcraft as a young one and have not touched it since, and I keep trying to not do that because I'm like, if I play it, it's like Final Fantasy 14. If I play it, it's game over. That's going to become my whole life. And I really don't want an MMORPG ruining my life right now. So, I'm gunning for PVKK or Tawa on this one, but I've not played any of these except for Warcraft. So, yeah. I would love to see Tawa one, quite frankly. Just because PVKK and Tawa are indies, I think. And we love an indie. Who's winning? I know 117 won. All I know about Anno 117 is that their booth is across from the Hoyoverse booth. Or I guess was across from the Hoyoverse booth because Gamescom is now finished. But yeah. The entire team is like in the back. That's kind of funny, actually. All right, this is cute. I'll give y'all that one. That's actually kind of cool. So they obviously, I'm pretty sure they did an interview with the team for Pax Romana earlier in the week at Gamescom Studio. I think we actually watched it. And that's when I figured out where the Hoyoverse booth was. And so they gave him a little gift. It's like IGN's full government name, but in Latin, because it takes place in Rome. That's kind of cool, actually. All right, that's cute. I'll give you all that. What a cute little team. I think I said this last time we talked about Pax Romana. I don't know if I'm gonna play it just because it's not my genre usually. But I think I could enjoy it based on the fact that it's based in like ancient Rome, and I'm a big Greek mythology enjoyer, and I have said this before as well. But Roman mythology and like this time period is kind of just like Greek mythology with the label scratched off. So I find it intriguing enough. But the dev team is cute. They talk about how the community for this game is really good, and I feel like you see that a lot with like fan favorite city builders like this. Like I feel like the community around Civ is also very like wholesome in a way, which like a city builder in like this is why I've tried some city builders, just because I feel like the vibe is like the same vibe I go for in like a game community experience, you know? Which is why I'm like, I don't know if I would necessarily play this game, but I might. Like, you know, it's like it's similar enough to other things I've played. The vibe within the community is similar enough to other things I've like been interested in as well. So like I could see it happening. All right, time to skip through some commercials. Are we back? We're back. Look at that robot cosplay. Sickening. You did a great job. You look great. I'm realizing now they're throwing things into the crowd. Is that like allowed in Europe? Because I'm pretty sure that throwing things into the crowd, I don't know if it's illegal in the United States, but it's heavily frowned upon at like most venues. So like, is that allowed in Europe? Because I was having this conversation at like a work thing a couple of weeks ago for like a similar reason. There was going to be an event and someone's like, oh, we could throw things into the crowd. I'm like, you can't do that. Can't do that. And like people were getting excited about it, like they were children, even though everyone was an adult because it was a workspace environment. And I'm like, no, you can't throw things in the crowd. That's not allowed. Somebody could get injured. No. Luckily, people agreed with me. They're like, oh yeah, you're right about that. But like, there was enough people who was like, no, you can't do that. And I'm realizing they're throwing like very large plushies into the crowd. I'm like, is that allowed in Europe? You can do that there? Y'all going crazy in Europe. I didn't realize that till like seeing them throw things in the crowd, because they mentioned that earlier that they were going to throw things into the crowd, and I didn't even clock it then. Heart of Gaming? Is this indie specifically? Heart of Gaming. What is this specifically? Don't know if they said it was indies, because this is very broad. I think this might technically be for indies. Oh, they don't have a nomination list for this. It's just like probably everyone. Oh, so this is just like it's very broad because it's literally anything could be nominated. And so for this year, the Artist Alley won, which I said earlier, if your convention doesn't have an Artist Alley or like something adjacent to an Artist Alley, it's not a real convention. There's a couple of things that your convention needs to have in order for it to be a real convention. I've been a little bit like, at first I was like, if you don't have ribbons for your badges, it's not a real convention. But a lot of conventions have, like, people haven't been giving out ribbons to stick to the badges. So I'm no longer saying that. I think that's just being phased out, which is unfortunate. We should go back to giving out ribbons at conventions for to stick to the badges. I think that's very important. But the last couple of conventions and events I've been to haven't done ribbons, which is sad. Bring back ribbons. However, two things that your convention needs in order for it to be a proper convention: at least one furry in attendance and an Artist Alley. And those I will stand by. Anyways. If you don't got at least one furry, it's not a real convention. I'm sorry. And if you do think it's a real convention and there's not a furry, then it's not a good one. Just saying. So yeah, Artist Alley should win, because I don't think Gamescom, I don't think they'd give an award to furries. I think we should give the furries an award, though. They are critical to our communities. Anyways, but yeah, Artist Alley winning makes sense. I literally said that earlier. Artist Alleys are that's my problem with going to conventions and events, is that I will spend so much at the Artist Alley. My most recent convention that I went to, I didn't spend a ton at the Artist Alley though, because I feel like I'd seen a lot of the artists before, but it was a more local event, and I feel like all the vendors were local and I'd seen everything before, quite frankly. But Artist Alleys are always very important. I will buy from the Artist Alley at every event I go to. If I go to like a craft fair or something, I make it a point to buy something that is obviously like art, a craft art, something thing, you know? But yeah, if you've been to an event or are going to an event and you do not visit and buy something, at least one thing from the Artist Alley, what are you even doing? Oh, they brought our prints and stuff. That's so cool. Oh, look at that Peach. That's a beautiful art of Princess Peach. Is that Peach? I'm pretty sure. Beautiful. Like, I have so many prints that I have no room for because Fallout art. That's really cool. That's beautiful. Damn, from Fallout. Show more art. Show more. What's this one? Ooh. And they're even making a comment about like anti-AI art and all that stuff, which we love. We are totally 200% always anti-AI art here. I kind of was talking about this a while ago, but I am planning out some videos for September and went through a list of over 500 games to plan out for some videos. Those will be coming shortly in September, so you guys will see what I'm talking about then. But while I was going through that list, I had to personally go through the entire list because, one, I wanted to find all the games at demos. It's a demo dive. We'll be doing demo dives for something. Don't worry about it. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I had to personally go through the entire list because a lot of them also were using generative AI. And I will, as a rule of thumb, if I knowingly know a game has generative AI in it, I will not play it on the channel. So I think I've been bamboozled a couple times into playing games with undisclosed Gen AI in it. But if I know that there's Gen AI in it, I will not play it. So we are always anti-AI, generative AI specifically, because obviously video games use AI, but generative AI, big no-no. And boo AI. Boo AI. Yay, original art. And talking about Artist Alley, though, they're like, you get to see the people as well. And that's also really, I've had so many awesome conversations at Artist Alleys, which is usually ends up making me spend more because I like talk to these people and I'm like, you're such a cool person. I'm having such a great cover. I need to like give you more money. How much more money can I give you? And they even mentioned, yes, it's a big part of conventions all over the world. If you don't have an Artist Alley at your convention, you're not a real convention. He said, make sure to give the prints to them gently in the crowd. Give them, don't throw them, be gentle. And that was my concern. I was like, no, don't throw them. The prints are very important. Do not throw them. I have gotten hiccups from yapping about artists. God, this makes me want to go to another convention. See, there's a convention taking place in Austin like tomorrow, but I just only found out about it today and I've never heard about it before. And it's also a member of my family's birthday tomorrow, but I'm like, I mean, do I want to like stop by? I'm kind of thinking about it. See, they talked me into it. They talked me into it. Now I'm like, I kind of want to go give artists some money now. Did they put the art in the bag and that's how they're giving it to people? That's clever. That's clever. All right, commercial skip. All right, we're back. Okay, I still have work to do, but I had to talk about artists are important and I had to talk about it. We're getting kind of near the end. Best lineup? Who brought the best lineup? So this is like a booth thing. This is like a booth. So like Hoyoverse could be nominated for this. Do we think they are? We'll see. This is more booth adjacent. I'm curious who will be nominated. Oh, they're just saying these. So Bandai was nominated. Hold on. Capcom? Okay. Arts did get nominated! Yay, Hoyoverse. Joystick Ventures. I actually don't know. I've not heard of that. Quantum Frog, I've also not heard of, but Hoyoverse, my vote goes to Hoyoverse. I'm sorry, I'm predictable. I'm curious. I don't think Hoyoverse won. Probably Capcom did, because they had Requiem. Yeah, Capcom won, but Capcom brought Requiem. So like, see, it's the same employee from before. Capcom's booths, like, because I did see a little bit of the Requiem booth, looked really cool though. So like, I gotta give them that. They were also Onimusha and Pragmata they also brought. So, okay, yeah. I will say the booth for Pragmata looked kind of bland, so I'm not too sure what it looked like inside though, but outside looked kind of eh. They're being nice about Pragmata now. I see what you're doing, IGN, I see. You have the employee here and you're being nice now. I see what you're doing. No one's addressing the elephant in the room that is the Pragmata height. I don't think any of the IGN employees who did the beta, demo, whatever, for Pragmata are actually sitting in this interview right now, though. I will say that. Not entirely sure though. Even the employee they have here though is talking about the like really cool booths they have. So yeah, they have zombie like scare actors for the Requiem booth as well, which is a lot. I gotta give it to Capcom because I know the Hoyoverse booth had like cosplayers, which cosplayers are very important, but like they hired scare actors. They're really not saying anything about that. I think they just want to ignore the fact that they didn't like Pragmata. I know I'm like very like stuck on the fact that they did not like Pragmata. Like the IGN reporters did not like Pragmata. I'm very stuck on that. And it's because I remember because I want to like Pragmata. Best trailer category. So we've probably seen a lot of these trailers. One nominee. It's going to Requiem, isn't it? I don't know which trailer they're referencing though, because there's been like 4 different trailers. They have only one nominee though, which seems a little bit rigged. Like that seems rigged, right? Is it Silksong? That'd be kind of funny. What's the winner for best trailer? Hollow Knight Silksong. All right, you know what? I was saying it sounded rigged, but I got it. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense now. You take that. All right, I get it. Team Cherry isn't there? Oh my God, wait, the Arknights Enfield bag. Wait, hold on. This yellow bag right here, and like my hair was covering it, so I had to move a little bit. This yellow bag, that's Arknights Enfield. I was like, wait a minute, I know that. I've seen that one. I know that one. I know the one. That's so funny. It was the release date trailer for Hollow Knight Silksong. Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. I'll give it to them. They can take that one. Congratulations, Team Cherry. They said it's fine that no one from the team is here so they can finish the game. That's rough, buddy. They're talking about the hype this has created, and I have seen multiple like friends and mutuals just be like playing this out of nowhere again, and it's like, yeah, not this obviously, but like Hollow Knight, like everyone's waiting for this. Like I feel like every time I open Discord somebody's playing Hollow Knight again, and you know what, we love that. And they do mention the fact that the reason why the development cycle took so long on Silksong is because the team was just having fun making the game, which I think is so important as well. It shows and it looks incredible. Yes, that is, they're so real about that. You're so real for that. Okay, so now they're doing a specific booth award. Best in general and best in business. Okay. Oh, same publisher won? Okay, so the best business booth and the best like general, I guess, entertainment booth was the same. So I'm curious what booth that is. I wonder if it would be Capcom again, because the Capcom booths did look very cool. Ubisoft won best booth. Interesting. What did they bring? I don't know what Ubisoft brought with them. Oh, so they had like 17 total booths and they won with probably a different booth in both. Okay, can we see the booths? Because I wasn't there. I want to see what won. They're talking about the booth, but I just want to see what it looks like. They didn't show the booth. Oh, they're going to the studio interview booth. Okay, so I'm assuming they'll show off B-roll of the booth there. I hope at least, because I want to see the specific booths that won. Oh, okay. The community booth that won was the Pax Romana Anno 117 booth. And I even remember I said that booth was sick because they have actual, like, I'm assuming it's not real marble, but they have like these Roman statues at the booth, that's also why I noticed that the Hoyoverse booth is across the way, because I was looking, I'm like, oh my God, those statues are amazing. Wait, is that Hoyoverse? Like, because I was looking at the booth, like in the setup itself, and then Hoyoverse is across the way. So I saw like the bright blue Hoyoverse sign while I was looking at that, because I was like, wait, what? That makes sense that the Pax Romana booth is the booth that won. Even I was saying, like, that's sick. Yeah. Oh, they also had the Assassin's Creed Shadow. They had Assassin's. Did they have something fun for Shadows? I don't know. They filled the whole studio. 9 months they spent in the Pax Romana booth. Damn. But yeah, it looks real. Like, they have these statues. Like, hello? I wonder if you can see the Hoyoverse sign again. That'd be kind of funny. Like, even these, like, themed tables, like, their booth is really cool. I'll give him that one. I'll give it to you. Carpentry. Literal carpentry. Look at that goat or sheep or something. Can we see? I saw Hoyoverse across the way. I got to see it. Awesome. And they gave out little, like, crown things. That's so fun. All right, yeah. I'll give it to him. It's based on the textures of the game itself. See, that's really cool. Oh, it seems like they also included, fan photos from the other games that were at the Ubisoft booth. So yeah. Also, there's some players of games that are like insane with taking photos in games. Like, I see it all the time with like Genshin photography. How do you do it? Y'all are insane. There's another break. Okay. Joker figurine. You can't throw that. That guy did not look excited to get that Joker figurine. There was other people in that front row that wanted that figurine real bad. I want the Joker figurine. That's an expensive one though, I bet. And there goes Big Stitch. Didn't they already throw a Big Stitch into the crowd? Oh, give it to that kid. Give it to the kid. They didn't give it. There was like a kid on somebody's shoulders. Give it to the kid. Oh, that's a Stitch tattoo, isn't it? Okay, yeah, that's valid. They gave it to somebody they gave Big Stitch to somebody with a Stitch tattoo. That makes sense. You can take that. They even said, if you want free stuff, get a tattoo. Okay, so the Gamescom attendees also voted for a favorite booth. So I'm curious what the like fan favorite will be, because this is more, before it was jury picked, and then this is fan voted, like the mobile game award. So I'm curious. Is it the IGN booth? Oh, it's Pokemon. Oh, cool. I don't know what the Pokemon booth looks like. I'm gonna be so real. That also doesn't surprise me, because I think they repurposed a lot of stuff from Worlds for the Pokemon booth at Gamescom, because Pokemon Worlds did just happen as well. Oh, and I think they also had a demo out for Legends Zaw, if I'm not mistaken. No, maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't. I might be lying. I don't think they did. I think Nintendo had a booth and they had demos for something. But no, because the Legends demo was at Worlds. Okay, so maybe they did have it on the show floor. I'm mixing up demo experiences. They made a I choose you Pokemon joke. That had to happen. Pokemon is eternal, they said. Yeah, that makes sense. I've been a Pokemon fan for like as long as I've been around. I want that jacket as well. I want the Pokemon Letterman jacket. I do. I want to see the booth. Mega Evolution Experience. That's quite cool. Yeah, okay, they did have the Zaw demo. Okay. Is it ZA? And I've been calling it Zaw this whole time. I have no idea what it is. Another experience in Paris. What's in Paris? What event is happening in Paris? Oh, they got everything. They even got Unite there. They got TCG, like that. Yeah, Play Lab? Oh, they are teaching people how to play the cart TCG game. That's really cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'd vote for them too. They're asking you about the planning phase. I do think some of this is repurposed though, but they've been planning since last year's Gamescom, it sounds like. Last award, yippee. Best merch? I didn't even know that was an award. There's a merch award. What's the booth with the best merch? There's not even nominees for this one. They're just straight up going to the winner. Starbird's Gacha Machine did that? Starbird's Gacha Machine. You know, as a gacha gamer myself, I do think a gacha machine would probably make me the most excited. And this is Starbird's. This was also nominated for something earlier. What were they giving out in the gacha machine though? They have a little tote bag. What were they giving out? I need the studio interview so I can see what they were giving out. Because it looks like just paper cards, which I'm assuming has like a game code on it. So an indie game won best merch. Impressive. Gacha journalism? They did a joke. Okay. Oh, they have okay, yes. Starbirds. This is the game I was thinking of earlier. I have played Starbirds when it was nominated for best wholesome. I really like this demo as well. This is really fun. It will be in a demo dive. All right, moving on. But they have a 3D printed figurine in the gacha machine. I think also a tote bag. What's the drop rate? I would have loved to demo it on the show floor and then do a gacha, quite frankly though. Like that would have been like my ideal scenario as a gacha gacha gamer and an indie gamer, but I have played it. Can I do the gacha even if I'm not there? I have it wishlisted on Steam, I promise. Cozy Factorio, they call it. They also made Dwarf Romantic. Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. I do recommend Starbirds though. I'm not talking because I'm trying to get work done, but I do recommend it. They did ask if it's a gacha game, which it is not, and I feel like that is, you're shoehorning, projecting. Person who made the booth gacha machine, I think they said is working on Gumball? This like Gumball, The Amazing World of Gumball? That Gumball? What a small world. They got the guy on speakerphone telling him. Did this man even know he was on the like live stream? I really want to do that gacha machine though. I love a gacha, but I have played it, so I feel like I deserve to do the gacha machine even though I wasn't there physically. I have demoed the game and I'm wishlisting it on Steam. I swear. I want to do the gacha machine. I wonder if I just showed up and was like, hey, I recorded the demo for your game a while ago and I swear I've played it. I have it wishlisted. Can I just do the gacha a couple times? I just want to do the gacha a couple times, my guy. Like I've had it wishlisted for a while. Like I would have been really annoying though if I was at Gamescom physically. I would have done that. Because I would have been like, I've already demoed it. I don't need to demo it again. I'd rather let somebody else who hasn't even ever seen this game before, like, demo it. But please, I love a gacha machine. I think we can actually skip this. This is the Gamescom commercial that they've been playing at every stream. I think we're just about done. So we made it. This ended up being a very long video because of the amount of times I had to pause and talk about things. There is a Steam page for Gamescom. I believe it is still up, but we will not be doing a Steam dive for Gamescom because I'm doing so much other coverage for Gamescom. Usually I'll do one or the other, and I'm doing a bunch of reactions for Gamescom, so I'm not actually going through the whole Steam page. That being said, if there's any Gamescom stuff I'm missing because I'm not going through the Steam page, please let me know about it. All right. So there's some other stuff happening, it seems like, after this maybe, but that was Gamescom Studio Day 3. It ends up being a very long video because we got to talk about things. I was gonna say they better not throw that Nintendo Switch game into the crowd because it might break the game, but then I thought about it and it's probably just a paper code in there, so it doesn't really matter. That was Gamescom Day 3. I'm gonna be done. So if you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more and hit the little notification bell. I hit my mic to be notified when I upload new ones. I don't even want to extend this intro out. As always, I hope everyone is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!